Welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. Micah 4:5 reads, "For all people will walk every one in the name of his God, and we will walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever." To walk addresses the path we follow through life. The name of a God is a manifested character. To walk in the name means to act out the character of the worshipper's God. Whatever rules a person's life is his God. Holy religion is dependence upon a being considered to be perfect and sovereign, whose will guides and whose character molds the whole life. We may dwell on dependence or submission or admiration and recognition of ideal perfection or aspiration, but we always come at last to the one thought that the goal of religion is likeness, and the truest worship is imitation. This view of the essence of religion leads naturally to the question of what is our God, and makes it very easily applied and very searching test of our lives. Whatever we profess, that which shapes and orders the course of our lives is our God. The worshipper will resemble the character of his God. All false gods are the product of human invention. Thus, as David wrote, "They that make them are like unto them, so is every one that trusteth in them." Low ideals can never lead to lofty lives. A lustful man will invent lustful, pretended truths by which to soothe his conscience. A greedy one will solace himself that he is thrifty and wiser than his fellows, and thus develop his own concepts of right and wrong, which are his God. Worshipping praise and love of preeminence makes one shallow and manipulative, scheming, corrupt. Someone who concentrates his life worth on some earthly good, like a particular rebuilt car or exciting travel adventure, which he sees as his passport to bliss, thereby blunts many a finer aspiration and becomes blind to many a nobler vision. It is not only in character that a worshipper will become like his God, he will also share the fate of that deity. "We will walk in the name of our God forever and ever" was only spoken of those who follow the Lord. The worship of any earthly thing, whether physical idol or merely the dark spirits that have characterized them in all centuries and in every place where they have been followed, is doomed to perish. What comes of it at last, so far as Micah is concerned, is veiled in silence. It is Jehovah's worshippers, rather, of whom the great words are true. "Because I live, ye shall live also." We may be sure that all the traits of noble character, practiced in the heart, cleansed of the wickedness of sin, are pledged for our immortality. We may be sure, too, that a soul which follows in the footsteps of Jesus will safely make Jordan's final crossing and dwell forever and ever in direct fulfillment of the same direction in which it began on earth. The only possible result of walking with the Lord is to surpass the partial likeness to Him attained by our prayers and yielding while here on earth, and be perfected in the heavens by the perfect vision of His perfect face. We shall be like Him, for we shall see Him as He is. Not till it has reached its goal can the Christian life, begun here by thought of as having ended. It will never be said of anyone who tried by God's help to walk in the name of the Lord that he was lost in the desert, smothered in the muddy swamps of sin, overwhelmed by the flood tide of evil, and never reached his journey's end. The name of the Lord is a strong tower into which whoever will may run and be safe. And to walk in the name of the Lord is to walk on a way that shall be called a way of holiness, wherein no ravenous beast shall go up, but the redeemed shall walk there, and all that are on it shall come with singing to Zion, and everlasting joy shall be on their heads. Thus, long ago Micah set before us an eternal truth, demonstrated when our ancient ancestors sought the foolish gratification of fruit from the forbidden tree, and endlessly repeated in the sorrow of the world ever since. There is good and evil, and it is always better to choose the good. Well, have you done so, friend? Then good. Let's meet up there in heaven someday. Let's walk in the name of our God forever and ever. Have you talked to Him today?
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at GodsFiveMinutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.
Are you a Christian who likes to read? If not, there's a whole world of Christian publishing out there that you're missing out on. I invite you to check out the Author's Corner podcast, where I talk to the latest Christian authors each week about their new book releases and what's coming next. So if you're ready to jumpstart your spiritual growth with the newest books and the authors who write them, check out the Author's Corner podcast with me, Roberta Foster.